Imagine waking up tomorrow, stepping outside, and realizing that Earth is no longer the planet you know. Instead, it's suddenly twice as large, twice the diameter, twice the volume, twice the world beneath your feet. At first, it might not seem like such a big deal. After all, the land and sky look the same, right? But the truth is, doubling Earth's size would change everything: gravity, weather, life itself, in ways that are as fascinating as they are terrifying. So, what would happen if Earth was twice its size? Let's start with the most obvious difference: gravity. Earth's gravity comes from its mass. If you double the size of Earth while keeping the same density, the mass increases about 8 times. That means gravity at the surface would be about twice as strong as it is now. What does that mean for us? Right away, you'd feel heavier, twice as heavy. If you weigh 70 kilograms today, you'd suddenly feel like you weigh 140. Walking would be exhausting, running nearly impossible. Jumping, forget about it. Even lifting simple objects would become a struggle. Sports as we know them would collapse overnight. But the problems go far beyond sore muscles. Your bones and joints are built for Earth's current gravity. Under double the pull, they would strain and crack. Over time, people would evolve to be shorter and stockier, with thick bones and dense muscles. Tall, lanky humans would disappear. Survival would favor the compact and strong. Now think about buildings, bridges, and airplanes. Everything we've designed is engineered for our current gravity. Skyscrapers could buckle under their own weight. Bridges might collapse. Airplanes would need far more thrust to get off the ground, and many current designs simply wouldn't fly at all. Technology would have to be reinvented just to keep humanity moving. And what about nature? Animals, like humans, would shrink over generations. Giraffes, elephants, and whales might not survive the new conditions. Even insects would change. Their ability to fly would be crushed under stronger gravity. Evolution would sculpt an entirely new biosphere of shorter, sturdier life forms. But that's just gravity. What about the atmosphere? A larger Earth would hold on to gases more tightly. The atmosphere would grow denser and thicker. On the one hand, that might sound good. More protection from harmful space radiation. But it also means sunlight would scatter differently. The sky could appear darker, maybe even tinged a different color. Breathing would be harder, as the air pressure at sea level would be crushing compared to today. Weather systems would also go wild. A thicker atmosphere traps more heat, leading to stronger storms, fiercer winds, and heavier rainfall. Hurricanes could grow into superstorms that dwarf anything we've ever seen. On this bigger Earth, the climate would be more extreme, more chaotic, and far less forgiving. And then there's the geology. Twice the size means a far larger volume of molten rock churning beneath the surface. Earthquakes and volcanoes would be more powerful. Mountain ranges couldn't grow as tall because gravity would pull them down. The Himalayas might look like rolling hills. Rivers would carve deeper valleys, and coastlines would shift under crushing forces. Life near the ocean would be particularly vulnerable. Stronger gravity would affect tides, making them smaller but far more forceful in their pull. Ocean currents would change, disrupting marine ecosystems and global climate patterns. In short, everything we take for granted about the balance of Earth's systems, from biology to weather to geology, would unravel in ways that challenge survival itself. But what about humanity as a species? Could we even survive on a world like this? Or would civilization collapse under the weight of a planet twice the size? We saw how a double-sized Earth would crush us with stronger gravity, reshape the atmosphere, and throw the natural world into chaos. But let's go further. Could humanity survive on a planet like this? And what would daily life look like? The first challenge would be human survival. On a planet with double the gravity, the human body would be under constant strain. Every step would feel like walking with a backpack full of weights. Over generations, evolution would reshape us into shorter, thicker, sturdier beings. Fragile bones and tall frames wouldn't last long. Humanity would look more like powerlifters than marathon runners. Our organs, too, would change. Hearts would have to pump harder against gravity to circulate blood, meaning larger, stronger hearts would be favored. Lungs might shrink slightly under thicker air pressure. And life expectancy could shorten, as the stress on joints, bones, and organs would take its toll. Technology would also transform. Everyday objects, from chairs to cars to planes, would need to be redesigned for double weight. Cars would burn more fuel just to move. Airplanes would require massive engines and shorter wings to fight the denser atmosphere. Sports would be almost unrecognizable. Olympic records would shatter in the wrong direction, with shorter jumps, slower runs, and far less grace in movement. But perhaps the biggest challenge wouldn't be on Earth itself. It would be leaving Earth. Right now, escaping Earth's gravity requires enormous rockets like the Saturn V or the SpaceX Starship, burning through thousands of tons of fuel. If Earth were twice its size and had double the surface gravity, escaping into space would be almost impossible with today's technology. Rockets would need to be unimaginably large and powerful. Colonizing space, reaching Mars, or even launching satellites could become impossible. Humanity might be trapped on its heavier home forever. And this raises a fascinating question. Would intelligent life have evolved at all on a double-sized Earth? Think about it. Stronger gravity limits the size and mobility of creatures. It would discourage tall plants and large animals. Evolution might favor squat, compact life forms that conserve energy. Instead of towering trees, forests might be low and dense. Instead of massive predators like lions or whales, life might consist mostly of smaller, sturdier creatures. In that kind of environment, developing tools, farming, or building civilizations would be far more difficult. Fire might not spread as easily in dense air. Heavy stones would be harder to move. Human-like intelligence could still emerge, but progress might be much slower, or might never happen at all. And let's not forget the climate. With a thicker atmosphere, Earth's weather would become far more violent. Megastorms could last for weeks. Lightning would be more frequent. Rainfall might be so intense in some areas that land would erode quickly, while deserts would expand in others. Farming outdoors would be nearly impossible. Humanity would likely move underground or build massive enclosed cities, shielding themselves from constant weather chaos. Culturally, life would be completely different. Imagine myths and stories about a world where people dream of flying, but flight is impossible. Imagine a civilization where looking at the stars is a rare privilege, because thick air keeps the night sky hazy most of the time. In fact, the very idea of space exploration, which has defined so much of human progress and imagination, might never arise. A double-sized Earth might lock its inhabitants under a heavy sky, forcing them to look inward instead of outward. But here is the flip side. Such a planet might also be more stable in some ways. Its strong gravity could hold a thicker atmosphere that protects against radiation. Its magnetic field could be stronger, shielding it from solar winds. And if life did manage to thrive, it might be incredibly resilient, compact, dense, and able to survive conditions that would crush life on our Earth. So, what would happen if Earth was twice its size? Humanity might survive, but it wouldn't look like us. Civilization might exist, but it wouldn't look like ours. An intelligent life might emerge, but it would face challenges so immense that its destiny could be forever trapped beneath the weight of its own planet. The truth is, the Earth we live on is perfectly balanced. Not too small, not too large, not too light, not too heavy. Just the right size for oceans, weather, life, and even dreams of reaching the stars. So the next time you look at the ground beneath your feet or up at the sky above, remember, Earth is more than our home. It's a miracle of balance. And if it were just a little different, even twice the size, life as we know it might never have been possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into a heavier Earth, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what other what-if scenarios you'd like me to explore. Until next time, stay curious and never stop wondering.